Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Happy to be with you. TikTok. Hello, Jack Ray. God bless you, man. And yeah, did a lot of stuff going on. I guess that Malik guy, dude, what's wrong with him, man? What is wrong with that guy, man? Why does he keep doing this, man? Um, there's something. Yeah, it seems like just something demonic, that's just driving him to keep doing this stuff to the like to David Wood and Thaddeus and um L and Malik has the yellow streams into the wind. Dude, it's just like, yeah, I just can't believe that guy, man. He doesn't stop. He doesn't give up, man. It sounds like it sounds demonic, man. Just the way he's just not stopping, and anyway, all right, well, that's going on, and lots of other stuff happening, with the is he yeah, I don't know who'd want to marry someone like that, man. Yeah. Jack Ray, you've never come on, and I don't know if you want to, but if you would like to, you are welcome to come on. Jim Rockford, hello, God bless you. Um, Anybody who'd like to come on, you're welcome to come on. Is idolatry. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, one thing that one thing that the Quran says about itself, and we're going to look at some of these verses here. One thing the Quran says about itself is that it is an Arabic book. In fact, it says it 6 times. It says it 6 times. The language, okay. Uh, Talking about the Quran, it says this is clear Arabic language. It's clear Arabic in a clear Arabic tongue. Okay, this is 16:103, 26:195. We revealed it to one of the and even if he has recited, this is clear Arabic discourse. Shu'ara. Okay. Let me see how it says it in Arabic. Ajami. Ajami. The word is Ajami in Arabic. وهذا اللسان عربي مبين. Ajami means foreign. Okay, like a foreigner. وهذا لسان عربي مبين. And this is clear Arabic language. And so it says it many times, that this is a Arabic book, and in fact, it's according to, let me see, I want to write it in Arabic too, just because I think there's supposed to be more than just that. Arabi Mubin. Arabi Mubin. Okay, it says it. Yeah, it says it several times here. Let's see, Mubin. Okay, it says it several times. Bilisan Arabi Mubin, 26. Let's go there, 26. Okay, okay. In your heart, O Prophet, so that you may be one of the warners in a clear Arabic tongue. Bilisan Arabi Mubin, clear Arabic tongue. And so there's this very strong emphasis in the Quran that it is clear Arabic language. Okay. And but the Quran has a lot of words that are not Arabic. It's got a lot of words that are from different languages, words that come from the Hebrew, from the Assyrian, um, from several different languages. I just want to look at some of those words, um, and just it shows you that it is not it is not just a clear Arabic language. Um, let's just look at some of the words that, I mean, there are in the Quran 275 non-Arabic words. There's 275 non-Arabic words in the Quran, even though it says it is not just Arabic, it's clear Arabic. Mubin is a very well-known word. Uh, Quran always talks about itself that it is very clear, using that word mubin. But when it comes to the language, it says it's clear Arabic. And good luck at finding an Arab who can read it. I mean, literally read it and know what it says. Okay, it is not clear. Even in the Arabic, people don't know what it means. There's lots of words that they don't know what it means, and so this is just 275 words in the Quran are not Arabic. They're not clear Arabic. They're not unclear Arabic. They're not Arabic at all. Now, because they're in the Quran, they have come into the Arabic language. Now, one of the most common examples of this is the word for hell. In the Arabic, it's called Jahannam. Jahannam. Well, Jahannam comes from the Hebrew word Gehenna. The Hebrew word Gehenna. And so they took it from, Muhammad took it. I mean, he was among the Jews in Medina before he exiled or executed them. There were 3 tribes, Banu Mustalik, Banu Nadir, Banu Qurayza. 2 of them he exiled. And Banu Qaynuqa, there was also Banu Qaynuqa. He exiled them, or he committed genocide on them, which is what he did with famously with the Banu Qurayza. And then the others, he chased them, he exiled them. Some of them went to Khaybar, and he chased them there. So Muhammad really had it out for the Jews. And that's why the Quran really has it out for the Jews. And but the word Gehenna, which is the Hebrew Gehenna, is translated in the Quran as Jahannam, which means hell. So that's one word that is Hebrew, but it, you tell an Arab, well, that's not an Arabic word. Well, they use it. It's used in Arabic as Jahannam, as hell. But the original word is not from the Arabic. It's from the Hebrew. So I just want to look at some of the words, just because, like I said, 6 times the Quran says that it is a clear Arabic book. It is clear Arabic, plain and simple. The proof that it wasn't clear Arabic, of course, is the fact that Muhammad said to Jibril that when he brought him the Quran, he says, my people aren't going to be able to understand this. Can you bring me another version, another Quran? And so Jibril went and got another version. And then Muhammad said, my people are still not going to understand. So, so it did it until the point where they had 7 different Qurans. Excuse me. Those are called the ahruf, sab'a ahruf, the seven modes of the Quran, seven modes of the Quran. They're all different. They don't exist anymore because, according to the hadith, Uthman burned six of them and kept only one. Of course, um, yeah. So anyway, very confusing, very convoluted story about the compilation of the Quran. But anyway, there's 275 non-Arabic words in the Quran. It is not a clear Arabic book. Okay, and so anyway, I want to look at some of these words that are in the Quran. Hello, Adham. Is it Adham or Adam? I don't know if this is Adam or Adham, because in Arabic there's both. There's Adam and there's Adham. Uh, Adam, I'm not sure. Three. I know they use three. They use three for Arabic words, Arabic letters that we don't have in English, and I'm not sure which one it is. Adam, Haruf. Uh, that's the Ahruf singing style. Well, they don't exist anymore, and nobody knows what they are. Nobody knows what the Ahruf are. Allah has not appointed Bahira or Sabi, Saiba or Wasila or Ham, but those who disbelieve invent falsehoods about Allah, and most of them do not reason. Um, I want to look at that all of a sudden. That's an interesting verse. 5103. Just because, I mean, does it actually have? I'd like to see what it actually says in the Arabic. Okay. Oh, believes honor your obligations. 5103. Oh, no. 5103. Oh, because I have the Arabic, it didn't do it correctly. Let me just do it correctly here. 5103. Oh, Allah has never ordained for you the so-called Bahida, Saiba, Wasila, and Ham camels, but the disbelievers just fabricate lies. Okay. ما جعل الله من بحيرة ولا سائبة ولا صيلة ولا حام ولكن الذين كفروا. Well, what is it talking about? What is this talking about? جعل من بحيرة. I see. I don't know what Buhaira means. That's what interests me is Buhaira, because that's the name of Muhammad's father. Muhammad's father's name is Buhaira. He's the monk, the at the time apostate monk, a Syrian monk, but he did end up coming back to the Lord at the end of his life. He repented for what he did, but his name was Buhaira. So I don't know if this is about Buhaira. It's very interesting. So thank you for showing this. And so anyway, I just want to look at some of the words that some of the words that are not Arabic words that are in the Quran. And and why do this? Why do this? What's the purpose of this? I know if you don't speak Arabic, it's like it doesn't make a difference, kind of. But the issue of the Arabic language is so central to Islam. It's so central to the Quran, the Arabic language, and it boasts itself. It's like when the Quran boasts that it has been perfectly preserved. When Muslims boast that the Quran is perfectly preserved, it's like, well, then you got to, why make a big deal out of it? It's obviously not true. But because they keep making that claim, and there's a lot of gullible people who believe them, and there are. We just spoke with one this week. We have to keep exposing it. And so, because the Quran, there is this Arab supremacism in Islam, because the Quran came down supposedly in Arabic, and so it's very central to Islam that the Quran is perfect Arabic. Perfect Arabic, and so it obviously is not. It is not. The grammar of the Quran is so bad, almost as bad as the history of the Quran. Uh, uh, um, and so, but because it makes this claim so many times, I think it's important to show that it's not true. The same way that, for instance, in the Quran, it talks about Muhammad stealing, stealing the red underwear, okay, and red material, okay. It talks about Muhammad stealing this, and people were accusing Muhammad of stealing this red velvet cloth, which some believe to be underwear, and that he stole it from the booty of one of the wars that he fought. And it's a crazy story. It's so easy to just forget about it and just say, dude, this didn't happen. Just ignore it and move on. Let's talk about other things, jihad or something else. But you can't do that. Why? Because it's in the Quran. The Quran talks about this red velvet underwear and the fact that everybody was saying Muhammad stole it. It's in the Quran. Because it's in the Quran, you have to talk about it. And so, because the Quran makes so many boasts about itself, if they're not true, you just got to confront and say, you know what, that's not true. And the boast that's made 6 times in the Quran is that it is clear Arabic. It is it's the found cornerstone of the Arabic language, and all this stuff. And it's not. And it's very bad in the grammar, very bad in spelling. We could talk about Arabic spelling. It misspells words. It's a terrible, dude. Linguistically, grammatically, it's a terrible book. Okay, and but it makes these claims about itself, and so we need to red-handed, red-pantied, yes. We need to talk about it. Okay, so let's just look at these words, okay, that are not Arabic and that are in the Quran. Okay, the word tafaka, which means intended to do. Okay, we can look at it. It's in Surah the Heights, Surah Al-A'raf, verse 22. Let's look at that. Okay, Surah Al-A'raf. I don't know the chapter numbers that good. I don't have memorized like, all 114 surahs, Al-Ahqaf. Where is it right off? Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to go to the front when it shows all of the chapters like this, and then Surah Al-A'raf. Okay, here it is. It's chapter 7. Okay, 22. Let's look at 22. Okay. Together here and see what it's saying here. There's a word in it called tafaka. Tafaka. which means intended. Okay, and it's from the Romanian. It's from the Romanian language. Okay, fall through deception, tasted the tree, their naked was exposed to them, preempting them to cover themselves. Okay, it's about Adam and Eve. Did I not forbid? Okay, so it's 7:22. Tafaka. Okay, لها سوءتها اوكي عليها ورق وناداها ربهم ألم أن تركما الشجرة أقل لكما إن الشيطان كمان عدوا مبين. Okay, now I don't see the word there. I'm not sure if I don't see the word tafaka there. Tafaka. Oh, watafkan. Wow, watafkan. And they began. Okay, right there. Watafkan. They began. It's not really they began. Okay, it's like they intended. Okay, they and when they tasted, okay, fall through the deception. When they tasted the tree, their nakedness was prompting them to cover themselves. They intended to cover themselves. Okay, yeah. So the word is right here. Watafkan. But that's not an Arabic word. Watafkan. Okay, it's not an Arabic word, and as far as I know, it's not used. Intended, hawil. There's different ways to say intended. Azdhum. Okay, but not watafkan. So anyway, but that is originally not an Arabic word. That's originally a Romanian word. Now, not Romanian from the Romania, but rather from Rome. The Roman language. Okay, all right. Another one, El Tor, a Syrian word that means the mountain. Okay, now the word in Arabic, when you talk about mountain in Arabic, you say Jabal, Jabal, or Jibal, mountains, Jibal, El Jibal. Okay, it's not El Tor, but this is a Syrian word. Okay, and it's not Arabic. Now, today you say, wait a minute, Syria is Arabic today. Yeah, that's true, but back then it wasn't. It was, and they had their own language, the Syrian language. And in the Bible, they're called Aramaean. Okay, so the word El Tor is from that language. It's not Arabic. Okay, another word in the Quran from Surah Al-Kahf, verse 9, is Al-Rakim, which means the tablet. Okay, these are all, and again, this is a Romanian word from Roman. Okay, another word is Taha. It's a Hebrew word. Taha is a Hebrew word. Now that's funny because that's actually the name of a surah. There's a surah called Taha. Okay, and it comes from the Hebrew. So let me see if I can find it here. Nisa, Toba, Yunus, Kaf. And number 20 is Taha. Taha. Okay, and but it's not a. In fact, it's fun. It's actually one of those. It's actually one of those disjointed letters. Disjointed words in the Quran. The words that have no meaning. It's one of those disjointed words. Now I'm kind of curious what Ibn Kathir says about this, just because Quranics. Okay, because Taha. Okay, tafsirs. Okay, maybe Ibn Abbas will have something about it. Ibn Abbas is Habar al-Ummah, the ink, okay? In his narration on the authority of Ibn Abbas, he said the explanation about Taha, we have not revealed unto you, to thee, Muhammad, this Quran, that you should be distressed. We have not revealed the Quran to you that you should toil. The verse revealed when the Prophet used to stand and pray at night, his feet swelled up. So Allah alleviated this through the verse Taha, which in a Arabic dialect of Mecca means, "Oh man," i.e., Muhammad, we have not sent Gabriel with the Quran for you to toil. Whatever the heck that means. Taha, which in the dialect of Mecca means, "Oh man." Taha. Okay, now I've never heard that. Okay, let's see what Ibn Kathir says, because that was a little bit strange. Okay, verse 1. Okay, 20, go. Okay, it's taking a second here. My internet is experiencing complications. Okay, the Quran's reminder and a revelation. We have already discussed the separated letters. Okay, so this is one of those disjointed letters. Beginning of the Surah Al-Baqarah. There's no need to repeat its discussion here. Okay, so they're admitting, okay, here, Taha. Taha, we have not sent down the Quran to you to cause you distress, but only as a reminder. The matter, okay. Okay. Well, you know what? This is telling us, this is kind of actually a very interesting point here, because what this is almost saying, okay, because this is one of the disjointed letters. Taha is one of the disjointed letters in the Quran. It has Alif Lam Mim, ALM. It has Kahayas. It has all these crazy, disjointed, just a bunch of letters together that don't mean nothing. And only Allah is supposed to know what they mean. Well, this is one of them. This is one of those so-called mysterious, disjointed letters that don't mean nothing. They have no meaning. Well, this is actually a Hebrew word. This is a Hebrew word. Okay, now what does it mean? I'm not sure. It doesn't tell us here what it means, but it's a Hebrew word, and that has no meaning in Arabic. And so that's interesting. I wonder how many other of the so-called disjointed letters at the beginning of surahs are actually just words in other languages. Even though, because I'm a Christian, I'm not going to say what surah, the surah that starts out with al-mas. I won't tell you what that means in Arabic because I am a Christian. So I'm not going to define my lips and say that word. Okay, but that's also one of the disjointed phrases at the beginning of the surah, and it does have meaning in Arabic, and it's not good. So anyway, but this is one of the disjointed letters, so that's very interesting that it's actually a Hebrew word. That's why nobody knows what it means except Allah and the Jews. Except Allah and the Jews. They know what it means. Okay, well, I tell you, that's a real insight. It's like, oh, really? I didn't realize that. So, okay, here's another word that is in the Quran, but it's not Arabic. Senin. Senin. It means beautiful in Hebrew. Senin. Okay, it doesn't tell us where it is, or we would look it up. Okay, so Senin is not an Arabic word. I've never used Senin in Arabic means years, years, Sana means year. Sinin means years. And Sana is very similar to the Hebrew Shana, because the Hebrew and Arabic are like cousin languages. And quite often, if a word has an S in it in Arabic, it'll be SH in Hebrew, like Masih in Hebrew, Mashiach, Mashiach. Okay, but so Sinin, Shenin maybe in it means beautiful in Hebrew. Okay. Another word is asijil. Hebrew word. It's a Persian word. Asijil. It means the book. Okay. Surat al-Anbiya 104. I'd like to see that. Surat al-Anbiya 104. Surat al-Anbiya, I believe, is chapter. What chapter is it? Anbiya. Anbiya means prophets. Okay. Mhm. Okay, Anbiya is 21. Okay. It's 21 what? 21 104. Okay. I'm just kind of curious to see how it's used. 21 104. Okay. Okay. Let me see the word again. It's sijil. Okay. It means the book. Okay. Ah, sajil. El sajil. Okay. Yom natwi is-sama kati is-sajil. Roll up the heavens like a scroll. Boy, where did Muhammad steal that from, you guys? Where did Muhammad steal that from? It will roll up the heavens like a scroll. You know, so much of the Quran is taken from other sources, so much, and especially Jewish sources. And this is taken from the prophet Isaiah. Okay, we will roll up. Okay, but the scroll right here, the word that they use is as-sajil. Uh, okay, which okay, which is not an Arabic word. Okay, it is Sejil is a Persian word. Okay. Okay, now this one is kind of interesting. Al-Stabrak is a Persian word which means the thick. Al-Stabrak, Al-Stabrak. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Surah Al-Dukhan 53. Now, because I recognize this word, uh, if I'm not mistaken, this is what they say about the clothes that the boys in paradise wear. Sorry, you guys. This is Islam. Okay, okay, that's Surah Al-Dukhan 53. Surah Al-Dukhan 53. Let me just look here. Dukhan, by the way, means smoke. Even, like when you smoke a cigarette, uh, badakhan, I smoke. Okay. Here it is, 53. Okay. It's Surah 44. 53. Let's see what it says. Okay, now this is talking about those boys, those eternal fresh boys in paradise, those eternally fresh boys in paradise. And this is the kind of clothes those boys are going to be wearing. Okay, getting all these messages. It's like all day long, no one sends anything. But the minute I start a live stream, I start getting all this stuff. Okay. Uh, okay. And sorry about that. All right. Stabrak. Okay. Here it is. The word is stabrak. This is what they are wearing, dressed in fine silk and rich brocade. Okay. And so fine sendis was stabrak. Okay, Stabrak is like the rich brocade. This is what the clothes, those eternally fresh, non-bleeding boys of Muhammad that are going to be in Al Jannah, that guys are going to get 80,000 of these kids. This is what they're going to be wearing. They're going to be wearing a stabrak. That's not an Arabic word. Okay. Okay. So let's just look at that. Istabrak is a Persian word. It's kind of like, like what, satin, or you have some fabrics that are associated with a particular culture, like a Persian rug, for instance. A Persian rug, it's kind of like that. Okay. as Sundus. Okay, now you see, I noticed that too. This is also what those boys are going to be wearing. As Sundus, it's an Indian word, which means thin curtain. Sundus, okay, it's not an Arabic word. It is a Hindu word, okay, from India, okay. And I showed you where it is because this is what those eternally fresh young non-dating boys in paradise who are going to be flying around you with wine, to pour wine. This is what they are going to be wearing as sundus. Okay, but it's not an Arabic word. It's an Indian word. Okay. Here's another word that is, we're not going to go through all 275, but there's 275 of these. Okay. Saria. Saria. It means a small river, like a brook, like a brook. Okay, and this is in Surah Midian, the supposedly the mother of Isa, mother of the Messiah. And then Allah says, don't freak out. I have a river flowing under you, a little stream flowing under you, and you shake the tree and you get dates. So you get eat and drink. And so Sariya is the word used in that verse, but it's not an Arabic word. It's a Greek word. Like another very famous Greek word that's in the Quran. Who can tell me another very famous? Okay, I might as well do this. Let's make it you get a prize, special recognition prize. Um, who can tell me another very famous Greek word that's used in the Quran that is 100% non-Arabic? Who knows another Greek word that's used in the Quran that's 100% non-Arabic in the clear Arabic Quran? Who knows it? Mr. Jazza got it. Injil, okay? Used so many times, but it's not an Arabic word. It's a Greek word. What's a Greek word doing in the pure Arabic book? Our Truth Defender says the foreign vocabulary. Okay. Yes. So there's at least 275 of these words. Okay. They're not Arabic. They say it's perfect Arabic. It's not. Okay. Then you got this, which is a mishkat. What's funny about this is that there is one of the hadith books. There's the most famous sources of hadith are, there's several books that have the most famous sources of hadith, and this one of them is called Mishkat al-Masabih. Masabih means lamps. Mishkat is the niche in the wall. It's kind of like a niche in the wall where you put the lamp, make a special little hole in the wall where you put the lamp inside of it. Okay. And so it's not an Arabic word, mishkat. That's not Muscat, that city, and it's not muskrat. Okay, it's not muskrat like the Captain and Tennille song, Muskrat Love. It's mishkat. Okay, now muskrat is an English word that they sing in Muskrat Susie, Muskrat Sam. Talk about muskrat love. Okay, but this is not muskrat, you guys. This is mishkat. Mishkat. Okay, and so it's an Ethiopian word. And we know Muhammad went to the Ethiopians. And he even pretended that he's pro-Christianity when he went to Christian. In Arabic, Ethiopia is called Al-Habash. Al-Habash. Okay, and which, by the way, also means Turkey. So Ethiopia in Arabic is called Al-Habash, which means Turkey. And in English, we have Turkey too, the country of Turkey. Okay? All right. So, but that's not an Arabic word. even though the Quran says 6 times that it is clear Arabic, it's not clear Arabic. It's Ethiopian, it's Greek, it's Indian, it's Persian, it's Romanian, it's Hebrew. It's not Arabic, okay? Another word, which I already told you, is Jahannam, which means hell, which is from the Hebrew word. As zakat, the tax, that Muslims are supposed to pay in order to be saved, because it's one of the 5 pillars. Again, it is a Hebrew word, another Hebrew word. There's so many Hebrew words. The Quran has got so much Hebrew. Okay. Another is sajid, is also a Persian word, which means stony mud. Okay. Aduri, Ethiopian, meaning a shining planet. Aduri, which, by the way, is interesting because there is a version of the Quran, it's called Al-Duri. Like Hafs, Warsh, Susi, Duri, Khalaf, Bazi. Okay, it's one of the, okay. But it's an Ethiopian word. So several Ethiopian words made in. Muhammad, you guys remember, he tried to impress the king of Ethiopia when, a lot of the Muslims went to Ethiopia to escape persecution in Mecca. And Muhammad supposedly spoke to the king, and he wanted to impress him, and that's why he came up with Surah 4:171, which is calling Isa, the Messiah, the word of Allah. The word of Allah is actually called the word of Allah because Muhammad is trying to impress this Ethiopian king. Okay, El Kaswara is also an Ethiopian word. The word means the lion. In Arabic, the word for lion. You see, all of these words, you guys, there are Arabic words for them. There are Arabic words for them. The word for lion in Arabic is al-Asad, like Bashar al-Assad, the name of the family, the leaders of Syria. He used to be the leader of Syria, but he's in Russia now. But al-Asad means lion, the lion. So it's not al-Kaswara. Nobody uses that. But in the Quran, it means lion because, but it's an Ethiopian word. It's not Arabic. Okay. Al-Milah al-Akhra. Okay, this is a Coptic word. Coptic is Egyptian. Okay. So Cop is an Egyptian, and it's specifically Christian. It's not just Egyptian, it's Christian Egyptian. And to this day, what is the church, the big church of Egypt? It's the Coptic church. Like 90% of the Egyptian Christians are Coptic. This is what it was before. In fact, the word Egypt has the PT from the word Coptic. Okay, so, but that word is not Arabic. Okay. Another Coptic word is warahum, behind them. Okay. And now another one is as-samad. Now it doesn't tell us where they found that word as-samad, but that word is used in Surah 112. Surah 112 is a very famous one. It says, say Allah is one, he does not beget, is not begotten. It said Allah is one, Allah is samad. Samad, Lahu ahad. Ahad. Okay, now this right here may be actually from that Surah 112 where it says, Allah, say Allah is one. The word there is not one. One is wahad. But the word used in the Quran is ahad. And here it's saying uhad is a Hebrew word meaning one. So maybe that was a Hebrew word. That Surah 112 has Hebrew in it. Okay, abarik Okay. Abarik is a Persian word meaning vessels. Abarik, but it's not Arabic. It's Persian. It's Iranian. But abarik is the wine vessels that the boys, the non-bleeding, eternally fresh boys who are wearing brocade and silk, who are flying around you with bottles of wine. And the bottle is called a barik. Barik. In fact, they use this word. They still use this word, especially when like they do their ablution. They put water inside the barik and they wash their hands and feet with it. And so a barik here means vessel, okay, but it's from a Persian word. It's not Arabic. Okay, here's Injil. We talked about that. Tabut. Okay, tabut. Tabut is literally it literally means box. You know that they use it that way, tabut, or they use it also about like the trunk of your car, tabut, but it's used primarily for coffins. Coffins. Tabut means like a coffin, but it's not an Arabic word. It is a Coptic word. Okay. All right. Surah, which is like, the Quran is made of 114 surahs. That's from an Assyrian word, which means a book chapter. That's not Arabic. El Fardos, which means paradise. Fardos is a Persian word meaning the garden. Al Tahut is an Ethiopian word meaning opposites. Okay, so these are words that are used in the Quran. There's at least 250. Oh, this is this is my father Zechariah. Praise God, man. You know what? I may have translated this because I translated a lot of his stuff from Arabic to English. So I may be the one that translated this. So I don't know. These are only a few examples of the non-Arabic words included in the Quran. So is it truly clear Arabic tongue? So yeah, these are just some examples. Like I said, there's like 275 of these words. You have Jeffrey. Um, this is from a Father Zechariah's article. In fact, I was listening to this. I was listening to Father Zechariah talk about this today, and that's kind of what made me interested. Here, I will go ahead and the boot, das Boot. There was a movie called that, by the way. Yeah, I don't. So if you go to this page here, oh, you know what? I don't think this is right. Let me see. The Father Zechariah. Oh, this is, yeah. So this is where it is. And but he only has like 30 of the words. There's like 275 words, non-Arabic words. Okay. His channel, his TV channel, and you guys, he really needs support financially. If you know any millionaires, please tell them to call him because he's about ready to close his channel because they just don't have enough money to keep it open. That'd be very sad. I started working with him when he opened his channel in 2011. Okay. And they've always struggled financially. He doesn't like to ask for money, but they really are in a desperate situation right now. So please pray for them. It's Al Fadi TV. So, all right, there you have it, you guys. Non-Arabic words in the perfect Arabic book. And you know what? I bet if we went through the rest of these 275 words, we'd find other of the disjointed letters at the beginning. Because, like one of them we found today, turns out it's Hebrew, which is Taha. Okay. So I wonder how many others are included in this. So, all right, you guys. Well, we made it to 50 minutes exactly. I didn't think I'd make it that long, but we made it. Yeah, and yeah, just want to say about the Malik situation. I can't believe it's still going on. I can't believe that Malik situation is still going on. He hasn't repented. He hasn't stopped doing what he's doing. He can get into real legal trouble with what he's doing. So I'm just surprised that it's still going on. I heard David Wood in a group, they were talking about it. So very sad. We'll keep praying for them in Jesus' name. And, you know, yeah, God bless them. So, all right, you guys. Well, if we don't have any Muslims who want to come on, we'll go ahead and call it a night. And like I said, this is just the beginning. There's 275 of these words. It's very interesting to see what these words are. Okay, but I'd like to see the rest of them too. It's interesting. So, all right. Here's Father Zechariah's channel. Okay. AlFadiTV.tv. His channel is called Al-Fadi, which means the Redeemer. So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you for being with us. And if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Great. Thank you.